riding buddies. What we're going to have a look at this time is we're going to look at women in motorcycling, but we will get more specific, and I'm going to be looking at motocross because that's the easiest for me to cover. We're doing this video basically because of International Women's Week, so we'll have a look and see what it's all about. But with women in motocross, there's a whole range of it. A lot of people do think that women are not involved in motocross, but there is a lot of women out there that are involved in motorcycle competition all around the world. Even here in Queensland, we even have a women's dedicated series called the Women on Wheels series, or WOW as we like to call it. So at the WOW series, the women just get to run their own classes. At a lot of events, you have the women's class as well. So a lot of the time, usually at motocross, especially club days and things like that, the women will be combined with, say, the veterans, okay? But sometimes they do have their own class. So we'll go through and have a look. I just want to interview a couple of female riders and we'll see what they're all about. The first of our fast females that I want to have a look at is Tahlia Drew. Now, Tahlia Drew is in a very elite group. She's one of very few females to actually make it to expert. She's no longer clubman, she's now in the expert class. In the expert class, these guys are super fast, and she's in there amongst it, mixing it with the guys. She is also amongst one of the fastest females we have in Australia. Tahlia will race in the women's class wherever she can, but also too, she mixes it with the guys. She feels that this gives her the upper hand when it comes to the women's class. Where did you come from? Like, how did you get started in the sport?
Well, my brother raced, he started riding when he was about 4 or 5 and started racing from there. And I was just sitting at the track every weekend and got real bored and I went, I'll give it a go. So when I was about 11, I got my first bike and I started from there and been here ever since.
I'm glad you did, because you're one of our really, really super fast girls out there, and like, you've won a lot of different things. How many titles have you won?
So in juniors, I won 2 Queensland titles, and then my first year in seniors, I won the Queensland title for the women's class. And since then, over the time, I've also had a 3rd and a 2nd in other Queensland titles.
Yep. Okay, so last year I watched you in the sunny states. You rode women's, and then you went out with the guys as well. How did you find that?
It was really interesting racing with the guys. I raced club and lights in my first year of seniors, but I ended up getting cleaned out every race that I did. So in 2020 I got a 350 and I stepped up to the MX1 class, and from there I just built and ended up coming 2nd overall in the club and opens class for the sunny states in 2020.
And I'll say right at this point, there was one highlight for me from last year. You got tangled in the gate. I didn't see exactly what happened on the start, but you were like the last bike out of the gates. It was at MX Farm, I think it was, and she's come back through the field. This is with all the guys, and just smoked them from dead last to 2nd or 3rd.
I think it was 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah, it was 2nd or 3rd, but it was an absolute cracker of a race to watch. And you were catching 1st place. You were the fastest person on the track by far. So that was absolutely awesome. So with young girls coming into the sport, who might be interested in the sport, what would be probably one of the key little bits of advice you could give them?
Definitely just go out there and give it your best shot. Doesn't matter who's on the track, just go out, have fun, because there's always going to be someone faster than you on the track, and just might as well get used to riding with them. Do as much riding as you can and just build with it. I always rode with the guys and it's got me to where I am now, so don't limit yourself to just riding with the women.
Yeah, I have seen that with a lot of female riders. They tend to just ride the female class, but it's good to go out with the guys, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely is. There's a few girls that have definitely stepped up above a lot of the rest of the girls throughout juniors and seniors, and it's all because they're the ones that race with the guys.
Yeah, and obviously I've watched you out on the track and you're not intimidated by the boys. It's always good. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Our next fast female is Alana Schultz. Alana has just come out of juniors and just starting in seniors. In juniors, she was the #1 plate holder in Queensland. She's still running clubman at this point, but she's well on the way to making her way through the ranks and hopefully get to experts. She is a very fast, talented young rider who is coming through the ranks. How old were you when you started racing?
Probably about 10, maybe 9.
9?
Yeah,
9, 10-year-old?
yeah.
What got you into motocross?
When I was a little kid, me and my dad used to watch the Supercross on TV, and I'm like, I want to try this. So Dad bought me a bike, and it's kind of just been a thing from there on.
Yeah. So yeah, you've done pretty good. Like, you've just gone into seniors now for this year. You were juniors last year, but you were Queensland #1 in juniors last year, weren't
Yes,
you?
I was.
Yeah. So that's a pretty big effort. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, you're looking at like Tahlia Drew, who we've also interviewed her and stuff, and some of the other girl riders. I've made it up to expert. Do you want to try and get up that far?
I would like to, yes.
Yeah, I thought you would.
Yeah.
It's sort of a bit of a goal.
Yeah, it has been for a while now. I'm slowly reaching my steps as I go along.
Yeah. Where do you want to take it from? Like, how what's your main ambition from here?
I would like to go race overseas and try it out there, but I'm not quite sure at the moment.
See how you go.
Yeah,
Okay. Thanks, Alana.
no worries. Thank you.
Harmony Perry is our next female rider. She may not be beating Tahlia Drew, but she's out there doing battle with all her mates each weekend. She's also a coach for motocross as well, so the female riders are really getting in and getting involved with everything that happens with the sport of motocross. Okay, so Harmony, how long have you been racing for now?
Oh, racing? 5 years maybe?
Yeah.
That?
Yeah. How old were you when you started riding?
I only started riding when I was 14.
So you're a bit of a late starter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've been racing for the last 5 years. You're sort of in the mid-pack sort of area with the women's and stuff. Yeah, that's sort of where you are. But how far do you want to go? Like, what do you want to go?
Well, my next step would obviously be getting faster and possibly go up to B grade.
Yep.
And then just work my way from there.
Yeah. What got you into racing?
I honestly don't know. I think Dad just asked if I wanted a bike one day and it just went from there. He took me to the track to have a look and yeah, just
Caught the bug?
caught the bug, yeah.
Pretty much. So, yeah, so you just want to work, just keep striving and going forwards.
Yeah, just keep pushing myself and just trying new things every time.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for that.
That's right.
Finally, we have little Cleo Ellem, who started racing when she was only 4 years old. This is the only sport she does and she absolutely loves it. She's one of our young up-and-coming girls with a big, bright future ahead of her. You've only just started racing. How long ago did you start racing? At 4. You started racing when you were 4. That's awesome. What made you start racing? Your brother. So what, your brother was riding? Yeah. And you just tagged along and joined in? Yeah. What's better? Do you play any other sport? Play any other sport than running other bikes? No. You just love riding bikes. Yeah. Yeah. What part of racing do you like the most? Going on the track, yeah. What, first corner's a lot of fun? Yeah, it's a lot of fun, hey? Okay, well, you have a lot of fun today. So that is women in motocross. As you've seen, there's a lot of variation from little tiny kids to adults, all females racing. They all enjoy it, they love it. But also too, some of our women will really stick it to the guys. It's not just about how fast the guys are. Some of the women out there are really, really quick. So make sure you send this to your female friends. Get them involved. There's always places for women in motocross. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Tick the like button as well. And we'll catch you next time.